This morning we heard how Jacob, now Israel, loved Joseph best of all his sons, for, as it says, he was the child of his old age. One thing I've come to understand about being the oldest in a big family is that even though all 8 of us were sons and daughters of Albert and Mary, my youngest sister had very different parents than I did. Like, my parents were very young, very impatient, frankly, probably scared out of their minds. And my youngest sister was doted on. So I can sort of identify with the brothers a little bit, but I don't regret that at all. In fact, we used to joke with my younger siblings how, we broke our parents in for them and, loosened them up. There's a lot of truth to that, too. But here, Joseph's brothers, they misunderstand something. They misunderstand a key point, that Jacob's love for Joseph had to do with something that was distinctive about Joseph. It did. He was the child of Jacob's old age, meaning Jacob was no longer wrestling with God. He was reconciled with his brother Esau. He was at a stage in his life where he knew how to love his sons the way they deserved to be, the way they ought to be loved, as God loves them. And they didn't understand that God loved all of them the same way. But they attributed it to something distinctive about Joseph, something he was good at. He had the gift of interpreting dreams. Look at that. Here comes that master dreamer, they all said. So what do we see when we look at each other? Do we see what's distinctive, a sum of gifts or a sum of weaknesses? Look at that master baker, or here comes that master philosopher, or here comes that master musician. We can say that about a lot of us. Or that master preacher. No, we're so much more than what we're good at. We're so much more than what we're not so good at. What we should ask, the question we should ask when we look at each other is, who is this person before God? Which really depends on what the answer is to that question when we look in the mirror. Who is this person before God? Is this person just a sum of weaknesses or a sum of skills? Or is this person beloved of God? Loved by the Father, a child of his old age? The answer to that question, how well we answer that question, will lead to answering more questions. That's the real discernment. So we are more than the sum of our skills and the sum of our weaknesses. John Paul II had once said, you are more than the sum of your weaknesses. You're the sum of the Father's love for you. And that's what we are. When we look at each other, we should see the beloved of the Father, a child of God, another Christ, the child of his old age.